My name is Edward Medrano. I'm the Chief for the Division of Law Enforcement, which includes a Bureau of Firearms at the California Department of Justice, and this is our APPS program. The APPS list is populated by a triggering event that makes a person prohibited. The prohibited person is entered into a system. It's triply validated to ensure that we have confirmed that that person is a prohibited person and that we have registered firearms to that person. Well before any operation is conducted, our analysts behind the scenes do extensive work ensuring that they have the correct information, the right person is identified, that they cross-reference that identification with weapons we currently are known to be registered to them. And then from there, we start building up operational plans to go out into the field and try to make an attempt to recover those weapons. Every situation that our agents go into, they know that there's a firearm involved. It's a very dangerous job.
It's really critical that local law enforcement agencies understand how important it is to update the system. It takes a lot of resources to go out, find a subject, track down the firearms, and if a local law enforcement agency doesn't keep accurate records and doesn't update the system correctly, we have to repeat a lot of their work, and that's time that can be better spent tracking down people we haven't contacted before.
So the first address we had for this subject ended up being a stale address, so we're going to move on to our second location in the town of Manteca, which is nearby, and we're going to see if he actually lives at that address. This is standard procedure. Bad addresses are, 20 to 30% of the time it's a bad address.
Could be this building here. We'll see.
Current resident moved in 3 months ago.
This person has moved out according to the new residents 3 months ago. If we do find them, we're going to do a probation search. This person is a felon. There's a condition of probation, and we're looking for 5 guns. So we'll see if this is a good address or not when we get out here.
So we have good address. Subject, according to the mail at the door, he says the guy we're looking for is in jail. But we don't have information on that, so we're trying to get confirmation right now.
So we're seizing the guns now because our target obviously dropped the guns off to the ground here, and so he's trying to circumvent his prohibition.
So this individual that was the owner of this is going to be moved from our active side of the APPS database to the pending side because he's at this point still has 1 gun unaccounted for.
There's many weapons that are in the possession of our state, local, and federal partners that are not properly entered into the AFS system, Automated Firearms System. So we don't know they're already in police custody. One of the things that we want to focus on at the Department of Justice is collaborating more with our local and federal partners, because we want to make sure we get good data, we get all these weapons entered into the system so we have a better count of the true risks and number of weapons that are out in our communities. We need to do that and make that a priority.
People becoming prohibited crosses all segments of society and all socioeconomic status. The richest people in LA could be 5150 or commit a crime. So we go everywhere. The next guy coming up has a criminal protective order, a felony conviction, and a condition of probation. So 3 different things that make him prohibited. Always concerned about people who have restraining orders, because it typically means that they have a problem with anger management issues, and you couple that with a domestic violence conviction, 273.5. It shows a propensity for violence. Some of the most dangerous interactions that even traditional patrol law enforcement officers have are those that involve domestic violence situations. One of the most common ways to get hurt in the law enforcement field. The subject's currently in custody, so I don't know, he got picked up for something, I don't know what. So he's not here, but we're going to try and get a consent search just to verify the gun's not here either. Very common for family members to say that the gun is not here, and then us still find the guns anyway. They're always shocked, they can't believe that it would be here, but we're going to take a quick look and see. The vast majority of the people end up cooperating with us. The agents are really good at explaining why it helps to cooperate with the police, and how their cooperation helps their family member or themselves to get out of the database. We couldn't actually contact him to find out where the firearm is, but his mother did allow us to do a consent search of his bedroom space, which is negative for firearms or ammunition, and we feel confident that there are no firearms in his possession. This is not typical law enforcement work.
Once we know the firearm is inside, we're not going to leave. There's no way we're going to walk away from a location knowing that the firearm is inside and knowing that the individual is prohibited from owning and possessing that firearm. Are we all here? Copy.
Victoria's talking to him. It sounds like he has indicated there are firearms in the house and that he is not going to cooperate. We may have to secure the location and breach the door. Victoria, everything code 4? Hello, you live here? Okay, everything's fine. The state's very concerned about people who have mental health problems, and want to make sure that no one is, hold on. You know this guy right here? Hello.
Hello.
You live here?
Yes. What's wrong?
I'm sorry. You live here? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm explaining to her at the same time. Everything's fine. Okay, so, you just sit right here. Okay, so, as I was telling her, your brother had a mental health evaluation a while back, right? You're familiar with that? He had to go to the hospital for a few days, right? Okay. As a part of that mental health evaluation, he is prohibited from owning firearms and ammunition for a period of 5 years, okay? All right, he filled out some paperwork when he was discharged from the hospital, letting him know that he needed to turn those firearms into law enforcement or in some way to get rid of those firearms, okay? And he's in a database right now that indicates that he had not turned in firearms. So we came to visit him to recover those firearms. So nobody's in trouble, nobody's hurt, everything's fine, but he just can't keep those firearms for now. So we're gonna have to take them away and get them transferred into somebody else's name, put them someplace where they're safe, where he can't access them.
He only had one firearm that was listed in APS, so we did retrieve the one firearm that was in APS, but we also retrieved four additional rifles and one additional handgun. So we went there for one and we got 6. That's not uncommon for us to go to a location for an individual to have only one firearm in AFS or APS and us retrieve additional firearms.
I'm not arresting somebody who just committed a robbery. That's not my stat. I try to take away a gun before someone uses it on someone else. You never know the mass shooting that you just prevented. The felon who had been arrested on a prior occasion by the federal government for possessing a machine gun, when we went to his house, we recovered approximately 20 firearms. Most of those he had built himself in a manufacturing operation that he had in his garage. He had a little CNC machine, it's called, which machined out parts for him to build his own guns. And we recovered 2 machine guns from him, and I think it was 16 assault weapons that he had built himself.
One of the challenges we're facing and we're seeing more and more of is a ghost gun. As you can see from both of these weapons, AR-15 variants, this weapon has serial number markings as well as a manufacturer marking. This weapon doesn't have anything. This gun is untraceable. So if this gun was left at the crime scene of a location, the only way we would be able to find out who possibly had it is through forensic work. Otherwise, it is completely untraceable.
So once the firearms are booked in with the property controller, they get logged in and they get assigned a slot so that the property controller can later, if they need to locate the firearm or if an agent needs to pull it out, either for a destruction or to get transferred or returned to an individual.
As we have seen across America, gun violence is increasing. Using of high-powered weapons is increasing. We've had many mass casualty events because of the use of these weapons. Now more than ever, enforcement against people who are prohibited and are showing signs that they could be violent or are unstable or should not have weapons in their possession, we need to do our best to get it out of their hands.